Yo, what's going on, people? Welcome back to another video. So in this video, I'm going to be doing a review on the Logitech G502 HERO mouse. In my opinion, this is probably one of the best gaming mouses that money can buy. I picked this one up for £30, so that's fairly cheap, but there are a lot of things this mouse is really good for. It's got loads of features, and in this video, I'm basically going to be diving into all those features and what this mouse can pretty much do. So this video is basically going to be an unboxing video, a setup and review of this mouse. So this is the box that it comes in. It's got all the information and stuff on the back. As you can see, I have one of these mouses already. I use this all the time. This is my go-to mouse. It's the main one I use. I'm basically going to be showing everything about it pretty much. So we're going to be setting it up and looking into it properly. But before we do dive into the video, I just want to say I'm going to be doing a giveaway on a brand new one of these. And at some point, I will select a random winner for the mouse in the comments. And yeah, that's the giveaway. So anyway, we're going to be unboxing this product. So this is the wired version. There is a wireless version as well. Put that aside. Right, here it is, brand new out the box. Obviously, compared to the one I've got, as you can see, mine looks a bit dirtier, obviously. I've had this one quite a while. Yeah, so this is what the mouse looks like, and underneath as well. So you also get these little weighted plates. Yeah, so you get these little metal weighted plates so you can adjust how heavy your mouse is. All you do is pop out this little tab. All it does is pop out like that. You don't need to unscrew it or anything, just clip it out. And here, you can add the plates to adjust the weight of the mouse. So let's say I just wanted to add one of these. All you do is just clip it in. You can add multiple as well, obviously. You can put some there and this side as well. Just adjust it to your liking pretty much. So on this one, I think I've only got... Yeah, I just use the one on this one. This feels nice for me, so this is how I have it. Weight, it's not too heavy, it's not too light. Oh yeah, to put it back in, all you do is just align these clips, and it's magnetic, so it stays in, doesn't fall out. And yeah, that's that. I always go for the wired versions because obviously I don't want to charge my mouse and have to wait for it to charge. I'd rather it just plugs straight into your PC, and you can pretty much just go straight from there. You don't have to wait around. And also it's cheaper as well. This is like £30 cheaper. So you're saving a lot of money just for a wire, pretty much. All right, so the mouse, let's look at the features. So on here, there's 11 programmable buttons. Some of them are quite easy to spot, but the others are quite well hidden. Let's have a look. You've got right click, left click, and then you've got the middle mouse button. That's obviously the standard. This isn't really a button, but it's just to lock the scroll wheel. So if I press this in, you can see it locks. So if I release this, the scroll wheel will obviously spin. If you have this unlocked and you use a mouse, it's going to shake the wheel and it's going to mess with your keybinds, so you don't want to do that. Keep it locked. So this one here is a button. So I believe we're on button number 4. This is a, what's it called? G9. And also, it's quite hard to see, but on the scroll wheel, you can see these 2 arrows. There's an arrow pointing right and an arrow pointing left. So these are 2 extra buttons on the scroll wheel. So you push it to the right, that's a button. You push the scroll wheel to the left, that's also a button. So there's 6 buttons just there. So you've got G8, that's this small one just here on the tip. And you've also got G7 as well. This one just below it, that's a separate button. 8 buttons there. And then flipping the mouse on the side, you've got G5 and G4. So that's 10. Most gaming mouses come with these buttons anyway. They're standard pretty much. 2 more there. And then the final button is this one here. It's quite a big one. But yeah, that's 11 buttons on the mouse in total. And it's really nice. But yeah, I'm basically going to be explaining why I think this mouse is the perfect gaming mouse for your money, and it's just an all-round really great mouse. So I'm just going to start with how I hold the mouse. Obviously, everyone's different. I rest my thumb on the side here, and then I have my 2 fingers here, index and middle finger, just resting on the top. And then these 2 fingers I have on the side just here. So on top, thumb is used for these side buttons, 1, 2, 3. Index used for these 2 buttons and left click, and then middle finger is right click. So yeah, this is how I hold it. I know it's probably stupid. You're probably thinking, why is he showing us how to hold a mouse? But not everyone holds it the same. Some people will kind of do it like this or like this. Everyone plays differently, but this is how I find it most comfortable to play. As you can see, it kind of curves out a little bit. That's for your thumb to rest just there. Alright, so we've switched back over to the app. This is what it looks like when you launch it for the first time. So I'm basically just going to be explaining a few things on the app, how it works and how you can navigate through it. So as you can see, here is the mouse. Obviously, you just click this, and this is where you bind all the keys to your keybinds. So before I get into this, I'm going to show you how to put a game on here. So if you look in the top right here, it will say desktop. That's obviously for my desktop, my background. This is the default setting. This is what yours will start with. And then if you click it, it'll bring down the drop down box of all your games you scroll through. But for the first time launching this, you're not going to have anything on here. So you need to add games to the software. So to do this, you want to come to here, these little arrows in the top left, click that. Come to games and applications. So this is basically the hub where you add all your games. Like I said earlier, there won't be anything on here. You'll just have desktop when you launch it for the first time. So to add a game, you can either do this, you press scan now, but this doesn't always work. So if this doesn't work, you want to come to this, add game and application. It should launch your Steam apps, but if it doesn't, make sure it's on this PC. So once you're here, just select the hard drive that you saved all your Steam games on, click that, and then you want to look for Steam library, Steam apps, common, and here you'll see all your games that you have installed. So let's say I wanted to add Black Ops 3 to the list of games. All I do is double click into the Black Ops 3 folder, sorry. And then you want to click the one that says .exe. This is like the main game file. So you just want to double click this. And then if you scroll through here, you can see I've added it. I've already done it. I've added it before, but you can see it's added it again. But yeah, all you need to do is click that once. So I'll show you again with a different game. So add game and application. So select the hard drive that you've got all your games on. Steam library, Steam apps, common. Here's all your games. Let's say I wanted to add Far Cry 3. Sometimes you might have to go in other folders to find the game, so it's not always going to be right here. So for this one, it's in bin. Scroll down, and there it is there, Far Cry 3.exe. I'll show you another example. GTA 5. Scroll down, GTA 5.exe. Double click that. And that's it. So that's how you add games to the software. Really easy. Just follow what I've done and it'll be easy to set up. So for the example in this video, I'm going to be playing Call of Duty Black Ops 6. I'm going to be showing you how to set up a few keybinds on there, and this applies for every game as well. What I will start by saying is there's no right or wrong way to set up your keybinds. Whatever works best for you is pretty much how you need to set up your keybinds. Mess around with it, see what works best, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'm going to show you how I set up most of my games. Like I said, I'm going to be playing Black Ops 6 for this example. Just make sure this says whatever game you're playing. Obviously, it might not be COD, it might be something else. So when you first switch over to a game, this is what it's going to look like by default. It's going to say exactly this. You can see here as well, if you click view to, this will switch to the side mouse buttons as well. So you can switch between them. Before we get started into playing COD, the first thing I'd recommend you do is click this one, DPI up, and press disable. And the same for DPI down, disable that. An onboard profile cycle, you don't need to do this, but this is what I do for every game. Disable this. So now if you go to system in the top left here and search for DPI cycle, it's right there, DPI cycle, just click and drag it to this back one here. So basically what this does is it cycles through the mouse sensitivity settings pretty much. Say if I want to change my sensitivity while I'm playing, I just click this back one and it cycles through all the sensitivity options. So sometimes when you're editing your keybinds, you might find that this automatically switches when you're trying to edit your keybinds for your game. I'm going to show you how to stop it from automatically switching so you don't have to keep going back and clicking it, whatever. What you want to do is find the game that you were editing the keybinds for. Right, so to stop this switching, all you need to do is come back, go to Games and Applications, and you'll see here Black Ops 6. So you want to click Details, and then set as persistent. So click this and it will say, would you like to disable profile switching? Press yes. And there we go. So now if I go back here, back again, if I click this, so now you can see a little lock symbol right here. So now this means whenever I minimize this software or switch to my game, anything like that, it won't get rid of this. It will stay on this screen. I'll show you real quick. Close this. Go back to Call of Duty. Right, so now I'm back in COD. If I switch back over to the Logitech GHUB, you can see that it hasn't switched and it's stayed on the screen, so that's nice and easy. Before I get into Call of Duty and start showing you the keybinds, I want to show you some options here on the left. So there's 3 drop down boxes that you've got on the left. You've got the sensitivity, the key assignments, which is the one we're on now, and you've got light sync. I'm going to quickly show you in sensitivity. So here are the 4 primary sensitivity settings. As you can see, we've got them all displayed at the top. So that back button that we've assigned to DPI cycle, this one here, this is going to cycle through, if you look on the left where my mouse is, right here. So that's going to cycle through all these sensitivity settings. So if you see, as I click, it switches through them like that. And you can also see the lights on the left here will change as well to indicate the sensitivity settings. So 1 is the lowest setting, 2 is medium, 3 is high, and then the 2 at the top is the highest. And as you can see, that's really, really fast. So I recommend keeping it on 2400 for the DPI speed. So that is 2 lights at the bottom. This is like a nice medium setting. And also in light sync, we can change the colors of the lights. Before we start doing this though, I need to show you something you need to turn on in the settings. For some reason, it's not on by default. So these 3 are supposed to light up on the side here. As you can see on the screen, it's saying they're lit up, but if you look at my webcam, they're not. And I don't know why this is off by default, but when you get the app for the first time, you will need to turn this on. So let me show you how to do that. So you press back, come to settings, come to my gear, click the mouse, and then DPI lighting. You want to select this tick box and set that says always on. And now, as you can see, the lights have come on and they're going to stay on. And now you can come back and start messing around with the lighting. So let me show you that again. So now we're back in the lighting and you fixed these side lights. We've got the primary lights, which is the side ones, and we've got the logo, which is this, the GHUB logo. I'm going to start with the primary lights, change the color. So you can mess around with this, whatever color you want. So I like it as blue. Obviously you can customize it. You can also change the effects as well. So you can have it fixed where it doesn't do anything, or you can have it cycle. So you can cycle through the all the different colors. You can see it's changing. You can have it like a breathing effect. You can change the speed, the brightness. So yeah, you can mess around with the effects, but I keep it on fixed. I like to have it lit up all the time. And also, if you want the same color for the logo and the side buttons, you just press sync lighting zones. So what this does obviously is makes the logo and the side lights the exact same color. You can also see the display here changing. So yeah, that's how you mess around with the lighting. Really cool feature. So if you press sync lighting options, it basically locks the lighting. And what this means is for every game that you change the keybinds on, the lighting will be the exact same. But if you turn this off, you can change your game and have different lighting for each game. Okay, so now we've looked at the lighting, we've looked at the sensitivity, we're going to get back to the keybinds. Now I'm going to jump over to COD and I'm going to show you some of my favorite keybinds that I use. As you can see on the side here, so I always, for most games, I'll keep these almost the exact same. So I'll have sprint on this front one here, and then I'll have crouch or prone on this back one here. So crouch and prone, sprint. If there's not a crouch and prone button, I'll have crouch on this one and prone on this front one. So all my movement is done with these side buttons. So let me show you me setting that up real quick. So what you need to do is go to your game options. I don't really play Call of Duty. I actually hate this game. I'm just using it as an example. So I don't really know where everything is. Okay, so we've got change stance, slide, dive. So that's C. Sprint, tactical sprint, that's on shift. So I know that. So now I'm going to switch back over to the app. So now if we go to view 2, I'm going to disable this one. I'll change this as well, disable. So now I want shift, sprint. So I'm going to have sprint on this one, the front one, and crouch, prone on this back one. So to do that, search the, you want to come to keys and search the key on your keyboard. So shift. So left shift will be this bottom one here. So you click and drag it to wherever you want it. So now that is bind to shift. You can see by the line. And also crouch and prone was on C. So if I just search the C, or if you don't want to do that, you can just scroll through all the keys here. It's much easier to search it. So C, there it is, click and drag to this back one. So now I've got shift and crouch on these two. So now I need to switch over to the game and import these settings into the game. What I'm going to do is go back over to COD. Some games might recognize that you've already input these keys. So as you can see, I'm clicking this side button and I'm sprinting. And if I press the one below it, I am crouching. And also, what's good about this is you can still use the keyboard to use these keys as well. So I can still use Shift. As you can see, I'm not touching my mouse, and I can still use C. But I've got shortcuts to the mouse, so it's much easier to sprint with your thumb rather than having to reach down and press the Shift with your pinky. I would recommend giving this a few weeks to get used to. It might feel a bit weird at first, but it's so much easier having the movement on these side buttons here. I can just crouch, sprint, do everything I need to do, all on the mouse. I don't have to reach my finger down to C and Shift. So this is much more convenient to bind the keys to the mouse. You just need to get used to it. It might take a bit of time. So sometimes in games you might have to manually input these. So what you do is go to the ones you've changed. So sprint on Shift, I'll click it. And sometimes you'll have to actually press the button to allow the game to recognize that you've put it on the mouse. So click it in. So now the game knows that I've put Shift on the mouse because I've clicked the button. So like I said, some games you might have to do this, other games it'll automatically recognize that you've done it. And same for C. Click this back one. Now it knows. So just bear that in mind if it doesn't work straight away. Alright, so we've done 2 keybinds. Let's look at the other ones that we can change maybe. I'm going to have ping on this front one here. So there's a tiny little button right there next to left click. It's just this one. I'm going to have ping on that one because while I'm shooting, I want to just reach my finger over and ping. So I'm going to assume ping is on P. P, that should be on ping. If not, it's not a problem. So drag, drop, shows you that I've bind it to that one. So same method again, switch over to the game. I just wanted to show you an example of me using the keyboard rather than the mouse. On the keyboard, I'll keep WSD all the same and my thumb on spacebar. This is pretty much the only thing I keep the same. I don't use Shift to sprint, that's all on the mouse. So by default, ping is on P, and P is all the way over here. So every time I want to ping a player, I'm going to have to move my left hand all the way over here to ping an enemy, which is obviously really inconvenient. This is why I highly recommend this mouse, because you don't want to have to keep moving your fingers all over the keyboard, pressing all these different keys. It's just not nice. It's really inconvenient, and it gets quite annoying actually. So now I've bind P to this little side button. All I do is simply move my finger across ever so slightly and double click. As you can see, that's pinged. I don't have to reach all the way across my keyboard. It's just right there. Ping, go back to shooting. Enemy there, ping, shoot. It's really simple. And you've got all these other buttons as well. You can have this one below as something else. It's all just really convenient to have it close to each other. Alright, so I'm not going to go through every single keybind and how to set it all up. This is just some of the basic ones. I don't want this video to be an hour long, but I'm just going to show you one more that I have for every single game. So if you look in the bottom right, you can see B is to switch ammo from semi to full auto. So I'm pressing B on the keyboard. B, again, is quite an inconvenient key. It's quite far out the way from WASD. So I'm going to put this on the mouse. And I'm going to show you what I use for this keybind. So let's switch back over to the Logitech app. Okay, so for every game, to switch ammo, I have it on the same key. I know it's B to switch ammo. And then I'm going to drag it to this one right here. So that's right click on the scroll wheel. So I'll use this finger to push the scroll wheel to the right like that. And that will switch from full auto to semi-auto. I don't have to lean over, press B. I just do this. I'm going to show you that in COD right now. As you can see in the bottom right, it's set to full auto. But if I click my finger to the right, I can switch to semi-auto. Say if you need to quickly switch, there's an enemy at a distance, you just click, full auto, click, semi-auto. So I would always recommend having this on the right click of the scroll wheel. Obviously, you don't have to copy these exact keybinds, so this is all a matter of preference. Obviously, like I said, there's no right or wrong way of setting up the keybinds. It's just finding what works for you, pretty much. So just mess around with it, try and get the perfect keybinds, whatever feels comfortable. But for me, this is pretty much it. Sprint, crouch on these side ones, switch fire, click of this. I can ping with this one. It's kind of like having a one-handed controller, so it's much easier to get used to playing this way. I've done enough talking. That's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope this helps you. As I said in the start of the video, I'm going to be doing a giveaway of a brand new one of these. So to enter that giveaway, just comment win mouse in the comments of this video. I hope you enjoyed. Please leave a like, and if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below. I'll try and get back to you as soon as possible. But yeah, that's it for today's video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.